Hello there, everyone. Zantok here with Slickstar Gaming, and welcome back to more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And we have a interesting case that we're having a class trial for here today. Curb, how you feeling?
Feeling quite dandy,
Really?
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I am gonna throw some weird things out there. There's a few pieces from yesterday that I want to discuss before we get into the actual trial itself.
Okay.
So there's a couple things that have been bothering me. First off, the handwriting between Hero's note and the blueprints. Definitely not a match. There's no fucking way. Now, whether Hero wrote the notes or Hero wrote the blueprints, only one of those can be true. There's no way he did both, unless he, purposely did fancy handwriting for notes, which would be really weird, and I don't think he's that smart. But maybe. So if he didn't make the suit, if he didn't draw the blueprints, who did and why? Somebody's trying to frame him, but who else is making that suit and knows its exact size? Nobody here is the ultimate seamstress or any of that nonsense. The only people who could have imagined would have done that, or would be able to, would be Celeste or Hifumi, and Hifumi is dead. But is he? Here's where I'm going weird here, Curb. Is Hifumi dead? I'm not sure. See, the thing that does not make any sense to me is Hifumi says, when he was asked who his killer was after he miraculously came back from the dead, he said Yasuhiro. He didn't say Robo Justice, he said Yasuhiro, which means he had to have seen that it was Hiro somehow. But Hiro couldn't take the suit off. And it wasn't just Hiro pretending he can't take the suit off, because they showed, oh yeah, there's this massive clasp on the back. There's no way. Unless he can somehow just take off the helmet, which you would think he would do that when he was surrounded by everyone else. So then how did Hifumi know that it was Hiro? How could he have possibly known who was in the suit? Unless he made it, and he set things up.
Oh.
I don't have full answers to this, but things are not making sense here. So much of this case does not make any sense, and as strange as it sounds, I'm throwing Hifumi in the suspects list, even though he's supposedly dead. I don't fully buy it anymore. Him killing Taka, I can definitely see that. Him being the 2D fanatic that he is, I can see him being able to, he's going to know this character or whatever, be able to draw one. He's going to be able to make a blueprints out of them, I guess, and build a suit, and somehow he knows exactly Yasuhiro's dimensions. I don't know that much. But nothing else is making any sense. This is the first case where I really don't have a clue about what's going on.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just throwing weird theories at the wall. Which, theory one, Hero's an amazing actor. And, he's like, no, it wasn't me. It's like, you're doing a damn good acting. Theory two, Hifumi's alive and he orchestrated this. Theory three, Hifumi is dead. Celeste orchestrated things, and she faked the photograph of Robo Justice holding Hifumi. Maybe the camera can do delayed photos. Don't know. We only saw two people besides Hiro try the suit. Makoto and Hina. Doesn't fit them. Nobody else was checked.
So who's the closest to Hero's body size? And I do hate to spoil it for you, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, just because it was something stated when it was discovered.
Sure.
The camera doesn't have a timer.
Okay, well, there's still something weird about that situation.
Okay.
As far as who's the closest to Hero's body type, I would say probably Byakuya is the closest, just from what I can tell here in their sprites. But it's also really hard to tell because, clothing is baggy.
When they suggested to try it on a guy, Byakuya very clearly was like, okay, Makoto, you're up.
Yeah.
And deflecting it.
So the only people that could potentially fit are these two here. Kyoko's a little too short. Celeste,
right, and the other two girls are definitely too short.
Yeah, and I won't say Sakura's too short. I'd say Sakura is too muscled. she would break it. Her legs would be like, oh, I just poked a hole. Alrighty then. And I can't really tell since Celeste is farther back, but I think she might be roughly the same height. She's come off as tall to me.
It's hard to tell because some of them aren't in heels, some of them are.
Right.
I think Celeste is.
She looks like
So
she's
that
in
messes
heels.
with it. Okay. Kyoko's... Oh, dang it, that's the shadow. I can't tell. I was looking at Kyoko's. And it was like, are those heel boots? I don't know.
Actually, wait, are Kyoko's feet in the floor?
No,
Look at the straight line.
Oh, that's weird.
I think her feet are in the floor.
Oh,
Her feet are
it,
absolutely in the floor.
It doesn't look so...
Oh my god.
We gotta stop looking at things. This is a 10-year-old game.
But it's funny. This is literally my job, to look at these and point out, that's not right. If only I was on the dev team. Alright. That's really where my thoughts are. Like, I'm pretty solid. Okay, it's not Toko, not Kyoko, not Sakura, not Hida. I'm pretty sure it's not Byakuya. But Celeste, Hiro, and Hifumi, shockingly enough, are my top 3 right now.
Okay.
Let's get into it. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly as all the wacky and crazy theories are running around my mind and it's starting to drive me insane. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, we descended. The doors closed on their own and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open though, opening up onto a cruel fate. He redressed it again. I was kind of expecting it, but I wasn't counting on those shades. Alrighty then. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only 8 alive. Oh, what a shame.
Just the worst.
Only because of you.
Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm
Come
so
on.
cute!
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
No. Don't rush me. Of course I'm going to start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the Action Bad Class trial after this commercial break. Alright, end the episode there, guys. Got? Alright, cool. The guys have abandoned us.
Yoo-hoo!
I'd never hold on to you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly dungeon. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly ritual. Alright. If I could
Breathe.
speak normally, that would be nice. I'm trying to put on a performance here. Wow, how rude. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Yeah, I want to save the data. Are you kidding me?
Of course.
Alright. Let's set some skills.
You've only got 3 points, though.
What do you
Just
mean?
the time. Well, yeah, to attach things, you only got 3 skill points. You've already used 12 out of 15.
Oh, I didn't realize that they were still on there. Okay, well, let's see here. I think everything about the two... Okay, handiwork. Allows you to reload 2 bullets at once. And... That's... Why would I need that?
Oh. Uh-oh.
That's never come up.
Well, it's because it hasn't yet. Okay.
Let's look at the other two here. We got cool and composed, steadies your aim a little. I don't think I really need that. I've been kind of fine with the aiming.
Okay.
And then lost in thought increases the time limit for each phase. I feel like I've been fine on that as well.
I think so too.
So basically, it's either no changes or I take something off and put on handiwork. Vocabulary increases bullet capacity.
Oh. Bullets in battle. Oh, wait, did that change?
I don't know.
Didn't we? Because that's the one you got from Toko, and we thought they were the same thing. This is something different.
Remember, the wiki had it wrong.
The wiki did have it wrong? Oh.
Yeah, the wiki had it wrong.
Okay. I actually just learned that right now.
I
learned a thing.
The wiki said that both of these were the same thing, but then in the last trial we learned that vocabulary was different. But I don't remember what vocabulary actually did. Like, increases bullet capacity. I don't remember being limited on bullets.
Oh, because this is... You know what that one's for, right? For the... What's it called?
I don't.
The rhythm game. That's what it's referring to? Well, you're about to learn for it, because in the previous ones, you had infinite bullets.
Oh! Really?
So you have to stop to reload, I believe. It's this one.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe.
That's...
So that's,
Alright,
that's
I think
why.
I'm gonna turn this one off then and put on handiwork.
That makes sense. Okay, so because hers makes it so you, Toko's has it so you have more of those limited bullets. Hifumi's makes it so that when you do have to reload, you reload twice as fast.
Actually... Okay, no, yeah, that I need. I think. Because that works in the bullet time battle final strike.
That's
the
last... Yeah, but the final strike is the last bullet you shoot. Not all the different ones.
Okay, so then I don't need this. This is useless.
You don't think so? Okay.
I mean, it says increase your truth bullet rate of fire. I've never, spammed anything except in the rhythm game. And if this isn't the rhythm game, then I don't need it.
Yeah, it's not spam. Yeah, this is only talking about the final strike portion of it.
Okay,
so
then yeah, fuck that.
Okay.
I'll keep that just in case I fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't have anything that costs you. Oh, you know what? Might as well. I got the room.
And we know to unequip that one next time if we get something new possibly.
If it's good.
If is good.
All right.
You're totally pain and I'm panic.
Yeah.
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 All right, let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
I think we get it by now.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
Shit, I forgot there was one more thing I wanted to bring up that was weird about this case.
Okay.
How did somebody move Hifumi's body? Why were his glasses cleaned? Only Hifumi would need to clean his own glasses. I'm putting it out there. This is weird shit. Nothing makes sense unless Hifumi somehow faked it. Alright, let's go.
We already know who did it.
Do we? Because I don't think we do.
Was that?
Mm-hmm.
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Leon's just like, are you sure? Because I don't know. I'm not sure.
So shocked.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I'm just coming up with weird shit and throwing it at the wall. Eventually something will stick. Maybe Chihiro did it. I don't know. Is Hiro really the killer? Or Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Good old spinny spin.
Spinny spin.
Alright, we got Yasuhiro's message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that
forgot the
you are
controls.
the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Yeah, well, I revealed the controls because I may have forgotten them.
Oh no.
I mean, looking at the blueprints, that handwriting is awful messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is
Everything
not.
we found.
Hold on, Celeste. I need to make sure I have the right buttons. Okay, spacebar is slow down. What's fast forward? Control. Thank you. That's what I need to know. I was thinking it was tab. I was like, that doesn't seem
The
right.
blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
No, that's wrong.
Let's go.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
I love how I'm surrounded by dead signs.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
You just mentioned Alter Ego in front of the bear.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, they assume that the mastermind already knows because it disappeared, but I'm still...
When you compare it to the blueprints,
And also not thinking that he connected the dots to the code name yet or something.
Yeah.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Yeah, trust me, that's painstaking.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
I did bring that up.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
what?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
Don't know yet.
Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
Did anybody besides Celeste ever claim to actually see the suit running around? I don't remember. I don't remember anyone else saying that they actually saw it. Man.
Can't
The
remember.
suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Tell him, Makoto.
Listen, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. And of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious individual in question, the one that must have been in the suit. Oh man. But no,
I got it!
I guess.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
But you just said...
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
I know, right?
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
Alright, fair enough.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
I happen to agree. That's the only thing that makes
What?
sense.
Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
Pipe down, let him talk for once.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
I thought we knew that.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
Yeah.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Oh,
Tell him, Makoto.
you just want me to regurgitate it. Okay. I thought he was saying, oh, no, it's not what you think it's like. But I thought... The things that were used to move Taka's body. They must have been the spotless hammer. No. I must have scrolled. Oh, there it is. Yes, present.
I
Whatever.
got it!
There's still one more thing. Oh, man, you're gonna make me slip the tarp too? Okay.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there.
It was.
But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
And the tarp.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
I also just noticed that there's blood coming from Hiro's head wound on the floor in the repository. That's really weird. I don't think that's right. But okay.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
In this case, I felt pretty confident about that part.
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
I mean, I was. Now you're making me think otherwise.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
Unless it was planted there first.
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
I mean...
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
What the fu- When did she get to be so mean?
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
What the hell?
She doesn't have a Fumi to bully anymore.
Wow. I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. But maybe I can change her mind. It's not like we haven't solved the last two cases. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. I've got a new element. Fuck
The
me.
bullet time battles. Talk about reloading.
I don't wanna.
Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just lock on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark.
Wait a minute, isn't this the thing that's turned off because I'm on gentle mode for action?
Maybe? Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. You might be right, I just have to remember if we get to the next part, maybe. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function, along with the right mouse button and left mouse buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease.
You know, I just had a funny visual in my mind of, as everybody's talking, they're all waving guns around, shooting each other's idiotic statements.
Really, only Makoto.
I knew it!
Oh no! Okay, you're right. There you go. Well, we've just equipped things that we don't need. Oops.
I will once again remind any watchers there are that I am not here to play action games. I'm here to solve mysteries, so I don't give a fuck if my action difficulty is on gentle. You don't like it? Watch someone else.
Okay. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said, including in the pre-trial when we were earlier. Oops. Well then, good luck and have fun.
It means I equipped a useless ability.
I was mistaken. I forgot.
I'm gonna have to take. I wish I could see outside of trial. I wish I could see a summary of all my abilities so I can actually write down which ones I want to use.
Report card. You can use a report card.
Oh, good point. And then I can just look up. Ooh, actually.
You have it
Oh.
wrong. I cannot agree.
I wasn't expecting
You are
this so
a fool.
soon. Fuck.
Yep.
So pathetic.
Why is she being
Lies
so
will
mean
get you
so
nowhere.
so?
Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. You had it wrong.
Hey, look, I actually understand this now.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
The normal shooting, you had to recheck your
Do your worst.
controls.
You miserable wretch.
Oh, that was really easy.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it. If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
I do?
When I found the dolly in the
Oh,
repository,
yeah.
one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
I forgot.
There was a pool
Oh,
of
no.
blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
Cardboard.
I'm not sure that really matters.
Thank you, Sakura.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
I will yield the floor to Byakuya.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Oh, because he couldn't bend very well, and you'd have to bend down to move the thing. Okay. If I look at how the body was moved, it'd be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Well, I just... Alright. Robo-Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
I just
Now,
noticed my
keep
reticle
in
is a
mind
lot
that
bigger.
the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Oh, when
Well, yeah.
it gets on the statements?
But
Oh.
even
I mean, like,
without a
even
handle,
now it's bigger than it used to be,
all
I'm
you
fairly
have
sure.
to do is bend over.
And that's the
Then
problem.
you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just
Listen
crouched
here,
down
not everybody finds it easy
and
to bend
carted
over.
the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
I do.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
You of all people.
That's an understatement.
The dolly doesn't have any handles, so to push it, you have to be able to bend over. But would anyone wearing that suit have been able to actually stoop down like that? No.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment, and from there.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the dolly.
Now, keep in mind.
Well, yeah, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Bit of a problem.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Yay! We got the image again.
It's
I'm
funny.
blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
To be fair, you don't really see robots bending at the waist that much.
When you're in that suit, Not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
I'm sorry. Do you realize how ridiculous that sounds? I'm just gonna let Celeste take a moment and think to herself, oh, I'm a dumbass.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Plus, it'll be a lot slower and you're more likely to be heard and caught.
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Fair point.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Clasp. There's absolutely no chance of the costume was taken off just to move the body because once it's on, you can never take it off. But no, it's this one.
Like
I almost clicked that though, and then I realized what this one said.
Oh.
I didn't catch it at first.
I got it! Oops. I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help.
Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing.
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off all on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
I have not, and I find it very suspect, and I would love to see it again, please. Thank you!
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
I don't know if I'd call that being dragged away. I did say my previous theory about him not being conscious during when the picture was taken is likely untrue, though, based on the reaction he's making. Good to know to confirm that, though.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
2 suits?
Besides,
find?
do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Yeah, and it made no sense.
How did you get hurt?
That guy hit me! What guy? Robo Justice! That's what I said to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Good series.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume.
That picture could have been taken at any time, though.
As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow! Something moving at the top of the stairs!
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
It was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Huh?
It came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
Which at the same time
I
they
left
found
Celeste and Hina there and
Taka.
headed back to the third floor, to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
He has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
A room that was previously locked.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
God, don't get me started.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
They are not.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
That's what I said from the beginning.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Alright, what are my bullets? We've got file number 3, which I don't remember what it says.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Oh, we already know that.
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Oh,
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Oh, Hina, you poor thing. The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were.
Let's throw
Taka
it here.
came
Oh,
last.
what?
What makes you say that?
Remember, you can slow down if you need
Because of the
to.
numbering of the
Yeah,
Justice
but I don't
Hammers.
want to because I saw that
It's
there's an
true that
achievement if I go through a
Hifumi
whole
was
task
killed
trial
with
without
Justice
slowing
Hammer
down.
3.
So I'm
While
trying to
Taka's
do it.
death
I
came
screwed
from
it
a
up last
swing
time when I
of Justice
accidentally hit the
Hammer
space
4.
bar for a quick
See?
second, and I ruined
So
my
it's
chance last
obvious
trial. I was
Taka
very
came
Can you
upset.
pause?
after.
Try to pause.
Well, how about that? That paused, technically.
Okay.
Did you have something you want me to say? Or look at?
so,
Because this is all I
Yeah.
can do.
I think you're able to, because that's the one for controls. Are you able to click the one for your normal menu?
Yeah.
Oh
my
You can
god.
look at your truth bullet.
God damn it. Okay, so the victims were Hifumi and Kiyotaka. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were killed with a similar weapon. That's not very helpful.
Okay.
Thanks, game. But at least I know.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Oh, okay. It's the other one.
Shoot!
Yeah, I knew it was one of the two. Calm down.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Wait, I thought there were only two things that came up.
Shoot!
There are.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Then I'm very
I
confused.
wonder if he died before
Do you
Hifumi.
remember any other
Or
mechanics?
perhaps it was after?
Nope. Ah, the flashback thing.
Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted you to try to see the.
Right.
That's why I wanted you to try to see if you could see what the Monokuma file was.
Because it's useless.
Right. 'Cause
Okay.
There's no information in that dang thing.
Yeah.
Yeep, there you go.
So I'm trying to think which one is supposed to be the solution to the other one, because one is just saying like, oh yeah, this is the order. The one is like, well, they will kill with Hammer 4. We'll do Hammer 4. We'll steal that one.
We already
Okay.
know what order they were killed in. Taka came
Oh,
last.
I did it wrong. I thought
Yeah,
you just
see,
hold it
over
down.
it.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with
And I
while
was
Taka's
ahead a little
death.
bit.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
Fast-paced,
So, I
fast-paced
wonder
Hina.
if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Hey.
No, that's wrong.
There we go. You know, sometimes when you go like a week between class trials, you forget the
Hold on.
mechanics.
There's no
Exactly.
reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
The watch. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. Wristwatch. I wish I could just click them in any order.
I know.
I'm waiting for a stupid eye to pop. My time is winding down because an eye hasn't shown up yet. Thank you, game. Jesus. What?
You kept shooting and got the thing after it.
That's annoying. Technically my fault, but that's annoying.
Mm-hmm. Not as bad as Schizo.
I've got it! Taka's wristwatch! See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey, you! How long are you going to keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And when nobody has an alibi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size.
Yep.
That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
Unless Hifumi wasn't killed.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Huh?
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi? He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
And the blood from the blood packets in the fridge.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
You
know, Hiro. Here's the thing. Shut up.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared.
Which would not be an easy thing
When
to
his
do.
body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies.
The farther we're getting into this trial, the more convinced I am of Hifumi faking his own death. This is making a lot of sense.
On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So
what now, Kyoko?
He hadn't talked, I was confused.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
I can.
And according to what Celeste said,
Not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though.
So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Are you about to shatter my theory? I'm about to get sad.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Yes! Yes!
Dead body moved on its own?
So convinced she was gonna contradict you?
I mean,
Not another...
it was a long shot theory, which was starting to make more sense, but I was like, okay, come on, like, they're not talking about it.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
Yeah.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Just earlier today, while I was working, I was thinking about the game and how the case wasn't making any sense. I just had this crackpot theory of, what if Hifumi is not dead? It's like, it's weird, but that's the only way I can explain things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Oh, but it is. The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible?
This is the happiest I've heard you in a while.
Hey, I like when I get things right.
True.
Especially when it's a crackpot theory.
Mm-hmm.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
yes,
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Yes.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
At the same time.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh, wrong button. Damn it, it's too slow. Alright, so I need to do the truth thingy on the other one.
Are you saying
That when we first found there's a chance
No. Hifumi
Okay.
was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body that Hifumi's dead, and that is...
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Because they were at the same time, so the announcement, you don't actually know which one it was for.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance
No. It is Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Nope.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Yeah.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Honestly, I did consider that.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
By not answering, he answered.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
But he did make the announcement twice.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. First time it played when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. The second time was when they were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
No, it's the glasses.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
I don't know, your logic earlier when you were calling me a fucking moron was pretty bad.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
But you've been
Okay,
calling
then.
Makoto.
Let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
You've
Then
been
it
calling
should
Makoto
become
an
clear
idiot,
whether
too.
he was really
I mean,
alive or
he
not.
is. But me, however, I am not.
This whole thing is pointless.
She's been very obstinate with this whole case. There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. It's the glasses, and the glasses white. See?
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Wrong.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous.
But if Hifumi's body was found in the nurse's office, and when it was found again in the repository, there's definitely some sort of conflict there.
Well, here's one thing. The first time we found him, and then his body
And the next time, it was in.
But when you compare his body other than the change,
There was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Even I found the trash can, and the nurse's office was
More trash.
more trash. Which would let's see, what's more trash here? Oh, Hifumi, he was more trash. I don't
so
have
much
any
more
other notes.
trash.
Yeah, he's a lot of trash.
I got it! It was a
More
glasses
health
cleaning
back.
cloth featuring
Yay.
a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
If you say so.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
That's true. I fully believe that. That's the most true thing he said this entire game.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Well, if somebody else was moving him, why would you bother wiping the blood off? It's stupid.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No, it was blood.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
I mean, you right.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was... no. Hifumi.
It's both of them.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
Honestly, it's not a bad plot.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Uh-huh.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yeah, go for it.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Is that when you were poking and prodding his body, you discovered it was warm? That'd do it.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The paper? The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka, could it be? Well, gee, it's called the note Hifumi
I
had.
got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his
Yeah.
Pants?
Yes, his pants.
Sakura, why are you saying it like that?
I know, right?
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. And take a look at what the note says.
That's usually what I tell people. Forget about the pants.
Yeah. I found a hole. Maybe we can use to escape. First of all, the grammar there, oof. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hero got.
It's not the same?
Dude.
You just said it was different.
Dude.
Dude.
Why is he still alive?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hero. And that person could only have been...
Why?
I don't know.
Why is this an option?
Should we click it to see the answer?
Won't I get punished?
You lose a heart, yes.
I mean, I have plenty. Fine, fine. For the sake of comedy, we'll do this one time.
Okay. His pants? Are you saying his pants are alive? Are pants people? Are there pants people?
This was so worth it!
Hina, even if they are, I'm sure they're not here in the school.
Wait. What am I saying? I need to calm down. There's no such thing as pants, people.
Shoot!
Oh, it looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone. Or was it Hina that embarrassed herself? I don't care.
The killer got in touch and that person...
Oh,
We
that
did it,
was
we did it, we
so
did it.
worth it. So worth it.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
This isn't Phoenix Wright. You don't get to do that. Also, you have to point your finger when you do that.
Or a tongue.
Oh, no.
She does it with her tongue.
No.
I don't really
Objection.
understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
I love that we're getting more nicknames.
Yes.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary. But still, I can't let her get to me. I love the spin. The spin is my favorite part.
The spin is your favorite part?
Yes. I love the spin so much.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong.
I figured since it's the final statement, I can just throw it there.
No,
Not wait.
there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Hypothetically, it could also mean that Taka wrote the note. And then his plan just didn't go how he wanted to, similarly to Sayaka's plans not going how she wanted them to.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
She,
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
The little scrap.
Tell him, Makoto.
Proof that Hifumi stole the note from Taka is the Kiyotaka script paper.
I got it! When I
They're
searched
hard
Taka's
back.
body,
Yay!
I saw
can
that
make
his
another joke
lifeless
into
hand
now.
was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yes, Hina, are you gonna get there?
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yes.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
After
Whoa,
seeing
bro.
all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
For the second announcement.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Hina just has all the nicknames.
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Fair.
So if Hifumi was killed in the repository,
There's one that was wet.
the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers?
They didn't.
Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
It's okay, Hina. You'll get there.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow. I have to find the truth. Spotless hammer!
That's pretty simple,
What
yeah.
was used to kill
Oh, yeah.
Hifumi?
This?
Was it Justice Hammer 3?
Nope.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Nope.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear.
Tempting.
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers. And, that's about it.
Ah, damn it. Skip. I don't think I need your help, Makoto.
What was used? Was it just maybe Justice?
well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, what? The murder weapon had to be one of the
I wish it was a
No,
little bit
it's
more
wrong.
immediate whenever you fire. You know, have that, oh, I shot it, but it didn't go fast enough.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Otherwise, the gig would be up.
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones,
And it also explains why there is more blood on the floor from Hifumi.
and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the justice hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder.
Unless you're helping someone and then you kill the person you were helping. So that's no longer a worry.
So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to come together. At least, that's what we thought at first. But... oh, okay. That seems suspicious, but alright.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
I think I have it backwards. I need to have the two murders one.
Based on the rules that have been, even if
I was
more
like,
than
I'm
one,
pretty sure
only
this is
the one
the
who
this is a
actually
stealing
carried out the-
scenario.
assuming
I'm
the
just gonna
rule
grab the
holds
first one
true.
that shows
It
up
is-
and find out.
How did
But
that
that
happen?
only really applies.
In this case, however, there were two murders.
Snag that.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act can, assuming the rule holds true. It is.
No, that's wrong.
Alright.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Ah,
my
come on,
God.
Makoto.
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
Makes sense.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Yes, how could anyone?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
You ever made the convince us the two murders were the same? That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and, in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit.
Oh my.
So here's the thing, I'm still between two people.
Oh really?
Yeah, two people still make sense to me. Hiro and Celeste. Hiro being in the suit obviously makes sense, but then Celeste's attitude to this entire case has just been wonky as hell.
Interesting. What you thinking?
He didn't have to move Taku's body because Hifumi did it. But it's okay, Hifumi said that Hiro killed him. So I'm gonna go with Hiro based on that.
Okay.
That sounds like it's wrong. Alright, well. What? It's all coming back to me again? Yeah, okay.
Hold on. Haven't we already shown that there's no way Hiro could have done this?
We know he couldn't have moved the body.
She's right. Hiro was in the robot costume when everything went down.
Serious! I'm just a tragically modified hero who longs to become human again as soon as possible, please.
Oh my god, what is
I don't
that
know.
line? I'm glad we clicked that for that line. No, you're still a human for now.
So that means there's gotta be like unique dialogue for every wrong person you choose.
I don't think that's always the case. I'm not sure.
I mean, it'd be kind of weird, like, what kind of dialogue could they get if you chose Hina? Anyway, if Hiro's not the killer then... Oh, looks like I just... See, I was really glad it won't result in this, and not just, oh, that's who you picked? Alright, well, that's the end of the trial, you lose. I was a little concerned. The true
Thank goodness it's not that bad now.
Yeah. So then I had to go with Celeste. Celeste makes the most sense.
Here's my answer.
There we go.
It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Yes, you have been very odd this entire trial.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder...
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him...
That's fair.
That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
That's fair.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
You're the only one that saw the suspicious individual. And with Hifumi being her accomplice, of course it was... I was right that the picture was faked. Ha!
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Fuck off.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Oh, geez, this again.
I saw a shadow. Something moving at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? Oh, this is the same scene we've seen like 5 times.
It is. Do you want to skip it? I've said it. We've said it
Honestly,
5 times.
yeah, I'm kind of over these
let's do
same
it for this one.
Was
flashbacks.
to get us to divide into 2 groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Why don't we split into 2 groups? Only the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Oops!
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just
that
realized
scream would
another
have.
strange thing.
Do what?
I don't know if that scream would have carried it across, honestly. It wasn't that loud.
Yeah, that was a really weird scream.
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I love how she's like, fuck, 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 fuck. I have no words. Oh, God.
Inner monologue
I
going.
don't believe it! Everything! The whole thing was one big act!
She is the ultimate gambler, people. There's a reason I suspected her in the first 2 cases as well. Come on.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Which is why she volunteered to go down there.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
Maybe you should look at her. She's to your left. Why are you staring forwards?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
Ooh.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must be really enjoying this. enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here.
This was a very weird moment for her.
We're going to die, just like those guys died.
Oh.
What?
Those guys.
I remember her saying that too, but
Taka
I
and
don't
Hifumi.
understand what's so strange about it.
I thought she was referring to everyone that had died.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Sir. Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Ah, come on.
Tell him, Makoto.
Follow number 3, that sounds like bullshit. But alright.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I'm not sure which one it wants me to do. When she said that she should only have known about Hifumi's death. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is...
All I said was...
Hey, that's not
they
what I
must
wanted.
really be enjoying this.
Okay. You know, I was wondering how to get rid of that.
Standing around,
You either get a new one or you shoot it, yeah.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and check the wording of this one more time. Because if we go ahead, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's useless to me.
They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Come on,
And
Byakuya.
that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
This is just the flashback trial.
Yeah.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like the.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Oops.
Exactly.
Here.
And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Oh, what do you have this time?
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
Staged.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
Or Hiro was knocked out. You put the suit on him and you just posed him. What's that movie about where there's like a dead grandpa at a funeral or something and they're posing him around?
Weekend at Bernie's.
That's the one.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? Let's think. If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is... Oh my god.
Oh no.
Come on.
It's your game, if you're gonna actually select it or not.
I got it!
Okay.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
Truth.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible.
Oh? Do tell.
Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Oh. Different music.
It wasn't in any of the other ones.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
If I remember right, Hina said... She said that she couldn't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi. You tried to make me look...
Like I said, as you can see in the picture,
If the person inside the there's no way
Sped up
they could
Celeste.
stand
Oh
up.
yeah.
No, that's wrong.
I honestly think generally they're funnier to slow down, but I don't want to slow down for this thing because I want that achievement.
No.
Right.
Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because
the
that
suit is
Robo-Justice
nuts.
suit had a certain characteristic.
It was shit. We can just skip that one
that's
again.
right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Ooh,
Loose right, look at that one.
yeah.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Camera.
We're upside down now.
Don't
Camera.
make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh. Oh, she anger.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Her accent is breaking. Did you notice? So she only has the accent, half of her accent in that line. The previous line, it was gone.
Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
What's with your voice? Why is it so weird there? That was like it was sped up, but it wasn't.
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
What?
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Last names.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to.
Wait, are you trying to tell me that Celeste's secret last name, which she didn't want to tell us, is Yasuhiro? Really?
And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Right now? Yeah, a little bit.
What?
Gosh.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
I mean, I'll grant you that. That's fair.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it. Okay. Oh!
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is! Moron!
You wanna bet? Man, how long did Kyoko figure this out? Because she told us that, oh hey, people could be something to do with this.
Right? How long do you plan?
I'm not pretending. It seems
Like,
you
how
have
much
no
does
way
she
to
know about everyone?
No, that's wrong.
Interesting.
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, It shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Then you acknowledge your guilt.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
It's fair.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Alright, comic time! They're plotting. Maybe let's look at all the things. Well, that's not real.
I told you, stuff from other cases.
Wow, there's not very many this time. Oh, okay, no, why did it start me over here?
It kind of does that.
I hate that. Okay, so yeah, there still doesn't seem like there's a whole lot. Okay, so they're meeting. What the fuck is that face? That's a face. I'm not a fan. Jesus Christ, and this too? That's weird. I'm not sure what's supposed to go in that panel, actually. Okay, that's clearly a fake. Good to know. Maybe... We're gonna wait on that panel. One o'clock? He walks in, I guess? No. I guess this face? Alright, this is when they're taking the picture and they're making it look like everything's happening. Here we got the other clock. Murder with that hammer. He's on the ground. It's not this one. Okay, that's when he's rolling the body up. Maybe it is that hammer? That doesn't make much sense.
Do you remember what number it was?
This one doesn't have a number.
Oh, whoops.
Wait, well, I mean, it has one, we just can't see it. Well, I guess that could be the amount at the very end, now that I think about it. Because, yeah, it doesn't look like it has any of the color on it, so good call. We'll skip past that one. Carrying him into the... They found him, they're carrying him to the nurse's office. The only thing that makes sense here is... this one? I guess? Doesn't seem like it has much... That's great. That's really good. Okay. I'm gonna guess just number 3 goes there. Same time, all that's happening. Okay, here we got... Jesus Christ, the face is here. That's just a little nuts. Okay, then there's that hammer. Unless something else can go there, which isn't looking like it can. Okay, so let's go back to where the one I skipped. Ah, okay, yeah, that must be this one. Did I skip something else? That's
You
right.
skipped the one at the very beginning.
That's right. Okay. That's clearly from this. The only thing it can possibly I can think of is the backpack, which is weird, but okay.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Of course. Okay,
so-
what goes there? Maybe I have these... What? I mean, it looks like it should be somebody else that's right there, though. So maybe it's this one, and not the backpack. So where did I have that one placed? Let's put the backpack one in that spot. Because you're watching him go to the nurse's office, I guess. And now it looks like two people facing each other having a conversation.
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
There we go.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Phase 2, murder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But...
Alright, fine, it's not the backpack. Okay, then what's gonna go there? I'm curious whether it potentially being just number 2, but that doesn't make much sense.
Why not?
I mean, that's past talking about Hammer 2. I mean, nothing else looks like it would really make sense. So it might be that. Let's take a look here and see. Okay, Hammer 3. We've got him rolling taco. Okay, it's got to be the hammer, I guess. Nothing else works because everything else is a fake.
the killer is you!
Me? No.
So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents.
This is a long bit to listen to.
For these attacks, the killers put the first there. They wanted to the second fake. This time, they put these 2 incidents the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did.
God, there's so much.
We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
there we go. Okay. Well, that's what was that?
That didn't even
there?
match the
while we did
picture.
that,
See?
we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office.
I think I'm justified in thinking that picture didn't make sense there.
It's been a while since I've seen that, so I forgot that was something. That's
This
weird.
was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3
Oh my God, Hifumi.
and turned the
Moon
room
magic
into a
power.
crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered.
Are you saying Hifumi is a magical girl?
He's a magical something.
He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste. This is different. This is an odd visual. Why?
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
There's the real voice.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
So there you go. That helps with the whole accent fading in and out portion.
Mm-hmm. New or suspicious? Hey, another A rank.
Celeste's voice actress does great with that one.
She's been one of the best voice actresses
Okay,
so far.
Monokuma. I'm ready to begin.
Oh.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Hero the whole time.
I just noticed that the dead people's faces are still in there. They're just grayed out.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all.
Yeah, you made your gamble.
Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then, did you use, you know, the rutabaga? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice.
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but rutabaga.
I mean, you can avoid mentioning it by name, but Makoto already spilled the beans at the start of the trial. So I think the cat's out of the bag.
It was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into.
Wait, does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
I love how he just gets no respect. Everyone's just like, yeah, you fuck off. We don't care about you. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit.
What are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What?
Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I have blue text now. I am the protagonist. Oh! I'd taken, you know what, the rutabaga, to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it in there. I like to think this is her inner monologue as well.
Oh, yeah.
I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got too close to her.
You are correct. Which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
As for me...
Oh dear. He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far.
It's amazing how completely he bought it. I cannot express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life.
Completely unforgivable!
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please! If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean...
Taka is going to try to kill you.
indeed.
And also, so he can keep her to himself.
This is unforgivable!
That bastard!
Completely unforgivable!
Bastard! 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 Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
No. Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
Okay.
Actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan.
Huh?
I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, thing. Fumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was to make something to hide the face in general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
I literally almost said, because you're stupid.
You really should have.
I should have done it. Huh? That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
Oof. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead?
What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that? Assuming you'd actually let him live.
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up.
He would.
He would. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along.
But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That is a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money?
Gambler.
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
all along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously that was I.
Ah! Put it away. Put the scary face away, please.
Hey!
That's not even that scary. I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
There it is. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream.
What?
And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Fair enough.
Honestly.
There is no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of killing, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
In the underground world of what?
Gambling. What did I say?
Killing!
Oops! Oh, no. Look, my accent's off. I'm getting my sentences wrong. Can you please shut up?
As for me,
it was all for that dream. That I could get my sentences right.
What was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
Live in a European castle.
Oh my god, I'm surrounded by fucking nerds.
Wait for it.
Castle? Oh my god.
And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers slash bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about.
My god.
I kind of think that she delved back into her accent for her fantasy for that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 billion would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Plus, she had a very good scheme.
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That is a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
Gee, it's almost like Byakuya has been trying to preach that to people.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying! And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die?
I mean, is there anything she can do to stop it? Why not be calm?
Why aren't you scared? Why am I crying at a killer? My ability to lie is unrivaled. And I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious.
And that's why you're not scared.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
That is not good for us. Nope.
Hey.
You just get executed again. He knows something. Celeste smiled then. Perhaps her first smile. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. Okay, so maybe not her first smile. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling! The blackened disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment!
For her, the ultimate gambler. And my prediction for this one is going to be something involving a roulette wheel.
Let's give it everything we've got!
Or spinning-
It's punishment time!
Or spinning dartboard, where where you see people strapped on at the circus and they throw knives at them. One of the two. One of the two.
Okay.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
Is this the camera?
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Game over.
Has been found guilty. Time for the punishment.
Oh, okay. Oh. Guillotine. Or, okay. Or this.
Interesting.
Very stylized. Why? Okay. What?
Good job, buddy.
What?
Okay, do you want me to explain this to you?
Sure.
Okay. Well, first off, I gotta give credit to Weeby News for this one, for when because she does a lot of Danganronpa analyses, lists, and character analyses. If you think about it, Monokuma's big thing is despair and causing despair. So it's not just killing them, making them feel despair as they die. So if it looked like Celeste was almost pleased as she was burning alive first. If you think about it, with her whole shtick, with living in a castle, being elegant and everything, it's almost like the refined way to go. And if you finish her, like, free time events, she has an issue with, like, commonplace things. She likes everything extravagant or anything. So the idea of not having that glamorous death and being killed in what's essentially a car accident, something very commonplace nowadays, something unglamorous, it just very not what she wanted. So it was that last punch to the gut of despair to her.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Mondo's was weird though.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird one. It's based off of I believe Hindi? I might be wrong. Hindi thing, a Hindi parable. Yes, I'll explain all that stuff later to you sometime.
Alright, well, it's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity. Well, she killed one friend.
Fumi doesn't count.
One friend. She killed half of a friend.
Oh god.
Hey, listen.
Half of Taka that was Mondo. That's the half of friend she killed.
Yes, the Mondo half of Taka. That's what she killed. Yes,
oh,
I like that answer.
We are not nice people.
We are not.
No.
I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. Now that was true. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful?
She was one of your favorites, wasn't she?
Yes.
At first.
I mean, I would still say so far she's one of my favorites. I mean, half the cast is dead, so...
True. True point.
Someone couldn't cover any of the regrets from the outside world. And so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez. And here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if it just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down, one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? Oh. I mean...
It's Monokuma mocking them. What do you want from us, man? Why are you gonna ask me all these questions?
It's canon. Let's go with that.
We've been going at this for a couple hours, so I get it.
Yeah. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste? Ooh, what was that all about?
Hey!
What was the deal with it? Not telling.
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
What?
Who?
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
Oh man. Oh jeez. Oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What? What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Hyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Bye!
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on and enjoy your school life. I hope none of you kill each other again, but actually I do. Get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course. I might just show up whenever I feel like it anyways.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Likely. It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea.
We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. And it is, as we get there, as we're approaching the dressing room, where we are going to cut things here because I can't give you the whole game in one episode. I mean, come on, what would be the fun in that? So we will see you all in the next episode to see if alter ego is what the key was given to us is for. That sentence wasn't quite right, but you know what I mean.
Something else completely, oh dear.
Yeah, it turns out it's a scrapbook she made, taking pictures of all of us to show how much she loves us all.
Okay, that's a...
Well, it's not an ice cream party. Give me a break here.
I was gonna say she hid, like, all of Hifumi's bad, fan art.
She hid the donuts!
Of course it is!
Bitch!
Oh, Aoi... Good thing Aoi didn't find out. She would have killed her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, we'll find out if it's really alter ego or something else in the next episode, and we will see you all then. Bye, everyone.
See you in the next life.